We have common sense. We know when we walk outside and it's raining, it's not Mountain Dew, Coach Scott. It's not Mountain Dew. It's rain.
LeBron fans, not LeBron fans.
Of course, and these are just real basic, easy questions. And these are the hardest questions when they come out real easy for you. They're real hard for you, but they're very easy questions. Is LeBron James not supposed to be able to still dunk?
Don't
see,
like
easy question. Can't get an answer. This is what I've been talking about. Is he not supposed to be able to dunk right now?
Well, like tomahawk dunk, between the legs dunk, windmill dunk, or just dunk the ball?
Dunk the ball, like what we're watching right now.
Well, Shaq can still dunk the ball. So yeah, I mean,
okay, cool. It is you self-admitted it. LeBron James is the slowest player in the NBA, like Luka. Like he's one of the slowest players in the. We can go back. We can get tape after tape after tape. He's one of the slowest players. Is he still supposed to not be one of the? Is he one of the slowest players in the NBA? Yes or no?
Well, based on this particular year, I'm pretty sure those numbers are similar. Like, would he be the slowest player? No. And when I say, for the record, LeBron James, of course, if he did a race, a 40-yard dash, he wouldn't be the slowest. My point in saying that he was the slowest, and those numbers saying that he was the slowest, meaning he doesn't move on the court. That was the point.
Like a man that's been in the league 20 years, yes?
Okay, right. But right.
That was the point.
He's playing the game. He's a starter. He should move on the court.
You're not realizing I'm beating you up in this corner right now. I'm not going to let you out. I'm not going to let you out. Because again, I'm going to ask the easy questions.
Oh, man.
To decapitate you.
Let's go.
Even though I killed the ghost, there's still room to debate. And every sport is on the clock, who being labeled the grade. If you hungry for the smoke, then come and get you a plate. We just evaluate the game and we don't deal with the hate. Come tune into the show, cause we about to get into it.
Every sport has a goat,
but now it's time to prove it. Barbershop vibe saying what other shows couldn't. With a buyer Coach Scott, yeah, it's gonna be a good one. This ain't for the faint of heart. Tiger, Jordan, Messi or Babe Ruth, Brady, Serena, and Ali catch phase 2. Get your facts ready and no Wikipedia, cause ain't no off season, he don't go debate media.
Go debate media. Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of GOAT Debate Media. We are back. We know it's been a long time. We got the messages from everybody. First and foremost, we want to say, hey, we appreciate y'all reaching out, asking, hey, where you guys at? We enjoy the show. Bring it back. We had some things going on, but we got those all squared away now. And as I said, we are back. And we're a little bit behind the 8 ball, but there's been some news lately that's been coming out. We still want to give our 2 cents on, right? And I'm going to start with you, Coach Scott. I'm going to start with the LeBron situation, man. Like, Pablo Torre, a very popular podcast, yet again has caught LeBron James lying. Why does he lie so much? He's an all-time great player, one of the greatest ever to do it. But it seems like whenever a question comes to him, he always has to make sure he's on top or make sure he's the guy or whatever the case may be. But in doing so, he gets caught in a lot of lies, and online it's becoming like a joke to show LeBron saying one thing on the left and then him saying the complete opposite on the right. I'm just going to ask you, man, from your perspective, what is going on with this situation? It's looking pretty bad here.
Yeah, man. I don't specifically know. I think it's one of those things where appeasement meets reality, and I think in the earlier phases and in certain situations in his career, he's looking to appease the masses, appease individuals for overall sound bites and things of that nature. But things of this type of situational magnitude, things that can be fact checked or proven, from a situation like this, it definitely makes him look kind of bad, and it tarnishes the greatness of him as the athlete, him as the philanthropist, the person, the entrepreneur. It kind of smudges his career.
Yeah, Coach J.O. I mean, I agree. Everything Coach Scott just said, it makes his career looks, pretty bad. But I still want to know why you lying, bro. Like, what's up? Coach J.O., what's up with the lies?
Listen, to LeBron James' defense, to his defense, there was a report that came out during that time, around February of 2020, when Kobe died, out of the LA Times, Broderick Turner, he did the article. And in that article, it stated, and I don't know whether this helps LeBron or hurts LeBron even more. He stated that LeBron James was indeed at the funeral. But LeBron James requested not to be on camera. Okay. You got all of these people here. You got from Michael Jordan to Magic Johnson to Shaq to all of these Laker greats to all of these people, all of these Hall of Fame players, the musicians to other entertainers. But LeBron James, would say you don't want to be on camera because you don't want to cause a distraction. Allegedly. We got to make that make some sense. And this is why they went and looked this up, and they went and asked the people who was running the funeral, and the questions that they asked is, did anybody or the cameraman there, did LeBron James tell them that he didn't want to be on camera, or is that anything they even do? And they said that was an emphatic lie. Emphatically, he lied. And that, like you just said, Coach, why? Why? Like, why do you have to lie about that?
Because, wait, you're a Laker all of a sudden, and one of the greatest Lakers ever just had a tragic accident. And let me say, I'm just going to be honest, probably the greatest Laker ever just had a tragic accident, and there's a funeral, and you, as the new face of the organization, still the face of the NBA, decided not to attend, right? You know, and here's the crazy part about it. I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't really go to funerals, right? I don't want my friend who you weren't supposed to be going this soon. I don't want that to be my last memory. So me personally, I don't go. All right. Now, if it's my grandma, she's 80, 90, she lived her life, you know, this was too soon. And so the point I'm getting to is, I'm just being honest. I didn't go because that's not what I wanted to remember. You know, that's a hurtful situation. Just be honest. You just didn't go. Just why didn't you don't? And the crazy part is this, Coach Scott, I don't remember the world really questioning him about not going, but when one or two questions do pop up, he just lies about it. Why not just tell the truth? Maybe you're not a funeral person. There's people out there like myself. I'm not a funeral person. Coach Scott, what about yourself?
No, I'm with you on that note, and I'm really not a funeral guy. And to your point, you know, the way that I remember my friends, family, loved ones, things of that nature, I want to remember them in that block of time, in that you know, guys, or that perspective. You know, if it's one of those, you know, you gotta goes, you gotta be there, you gotta go. I don't know, you know, LeBron's and Kobe's relationship. I assumingly, I thought they had a pretty good relationship established through Team USA and things of that nature. But, you know, again, it's just one of those things where I feel like he should have, you know, just communicated his personal sentiments on the situation, and kind of fell on his sword if that was it. You know what I mean? Take the scrutiny, take the, well, you know, you put your personal views and thoughts above, you know, someone that was that great dying, but, you know, you take those bumps, those bruises, and you move forward. But, you know, now it's 18 plus, 15 plus, 12 plus years later, and then now individuals are now scrutinizing, you know, were you there, were you not there? And then it comes out fact check wise, you know, that he was not there or in attendance. And again, it just is, it takes away from the body of work that he's put in. It pushes a smudge on the overall career of what he's actually done from the body of work.
Yeah, Coach. It wasn't 18. It wasn't that long, but it seems like it was a good while ago. No, I get what you're saying now. But Coach J.O., I'm going to give you the last thought on this. Like, what about yourself? Because, again, there are a lot of people out there, you know, and it's not a disrespectful thing not to, at least I don't believe it is. Maybe some people may look at this differently. to my understanding, from my perspective, it's not a disrespectful thing not to attend, because I'm not attending out of disrespect, but out of respect, because I want to remember you a certain way, and seeing that, I don't want that vision in my mind. There are people like that exist. You're looking at one right now. I just don't understand why lie. Looking at two, Coach Scott. Why lie about it, Coach J.O.? Like, how does he get past this? Like, or is it going to just fade away in the fans of all the, in the eyes of all LeBron fans? It never happened. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Of course it's going to fade away. That's what everything does when it comes to LeBron James. But check this out, right? And people might say, why is this such a big deal? Or why is this coming up now? Okay.
Right.
I'm going to bring a couple points. For one, Stephen A. Smith. And people can say what they want to say about Stephen A. Smith, but when it comes to being a journalist, he is respected. Point blank, period. He's more respected for his journalism than he actually is for his knowledge of the game of basketball. That's just it. It is what it is. When it comes to information that's reported, he's respected. Is he 100% accurate in everything he said? No one is 100% accurate. He said that on national television. He said, LeBron, you want me to bring up the fact that you didn't attend Kobe Bryant's funeral? Then I would be getting personal. Do you want me to bring up the fact that you didn't attend Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame ceremony? Then I'll be getting personal. Then on the flip side, Stephen A. Smith did come back and say, well, I didn't say, or I didn't try to insinuate that he wasn't there, or whatever, trying to save face. Because like I said, there is a report that came out that LeBron James was there. No pictures, no nothing, but he stated that he didn't want to be on cameras. Then when they asked him about it afterwards, why he didn't, or what about the funeral or whatever, they asked him about it, he deflected and went on to another subject. Oh, it's just a sad, tragic situation, blase, what LeBron James does. On another note, we know that LeBron James, let's just say the fan base, LeBron James fan base and the Kobe Bryant fan base, it didn't have as much bad blood as the MJ and the LeBron James fan base, but there was some bad blood there. Let's just be real. It is. So LeBron painted this picture of being this super, super loyal dude to Kobe and tried to insinuate that was his guy, that was his quote unquote BFF. That's my brother, so on and so forth. So if that's your brother and you love him, so why wouldn't you be that? Why wouldn't you be that?
I mean, unless again, he's that person that, hey, I don't like you. Hey, listen, I honestly don't even like talking about it, to be honest with you, because, and the only reason because it's just like, LeBron, why just say, bro, I wasn't there. I didn't go for my own personal reasons or for whatever those reasons are. I just don't understand why the lies are like, why is it always a lie? But anywho, let's move it forward. And I'll bounce this off you first, Coach J.O. Shaq had some words in response to LeBron James's appearance on the Pat McAfee show. Let's check this out real quick.
I think LeBron's longevity is a byproduct of the change in the physicality of the game, too.
Definitely. Less physical. Right now, you get a flagrant foul, you get fined, suspended. Like, guys ain't even fouling hard no more. Back before I played, it was crazy, but when I played, it was crazy. But even before, like the 80s going to 90s, it was probably more physical then. But, people get mad. It's just a product of what I see. I've seen what greatness is. Been there, played with them. I don't see that all the time over here. So you want me to give these the same props I'm giving them? That shit will never happen. So you can call it hate if you want. But even with the word hate, like these kids that like to throw that word around. You ain't great and I'm great. How the fuck can I hate on you? That don't make no sense. I'm in the building. You're not in the building. So how the fuck can I hate on you? People say Charles and I, we're ruining the game talking about the product because the product is shit. Fuck, show me greatness. Like, y'all pay a lot of money for these shoes and I want to see be great. And I'm going to always stay on them and motivate them to be great. They can call it hate I want, but I ain't sucking these off just because they making $400 million.
All right. Y'all heard what Coach, I almost said Coach Shaq, but y'all heard what, actually he is a Coach Shaq. You know what I mean? He's got the credentials. He can do it. You heard what Shaq had to say, right? 4-time champion and league MVP. Again, the most dominant player, physical force that we've never seen. LeBron James is a physical freak of nature. We can admit that, but he's not Shaq when it comes down to that aspect, right? So now Shaq has words in response to, the little jabs that LeBron likes to do, say he didn't do, that the fans will back him up 100% and say he didn't do. but everybody can see that he did do, right? So LeBron, Shaq has words for that in response to that. What are your thoughts on Shaq's words, Coach J.O.?
Shaq's words were 100% accurate, right on, and it was needed. I'm glad Shaq said these things, right? Shaq said, just because you make $400 million, you think I'm a blank, 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 blank? No, I'm not. Okay? Shaq said, I'm great. I know what greatness look like. You think I'm just going to call you great just to call you great? No, I'm not doing it. Shaq said, I'm in the building. You guys are trying to get into the building. He don't have no problem with calling Steph Curry great or LeBron James great or Dwayne Wade great. He don't have no problem with doing that. But you want these all-time great players, which they are all-time great, to just say people great, not just to say it. No, we're not doing that. The standards of greatness have dropped exponentially. Exponentially, it's dropped, right? And Shaq is looking like, dude, no, we're not doing that. Stop being soft, stop being sensitive. We're acting like this era is the only era because we're in the social media era that people got criticized. Magic Johnson didn't get criticized. Come on, let's just be real. Michael Jordan didn't get criticized. Kobe Bryant didn't get criticized.
Well, according to the LeBron fans, no, Jordan never got criticized. He actually owned the referees and the league. That's what I heard.
Kevin Garnett didn't get criticized. I remember Skip Bayless, one of his first nicknames was Kevin Garnett. That was one of his first nicknames on national TV. He gave Kevin. He said, Kevin Garnett. That was the name. Allen Iverson was greatly criticized, extremely criticized. It happens. What about Kevin Durant? So LeBron James, the only person that can't get criticized. And Bronny.
All right, Coach Scott, we're coming back to you. All right. Listen, I heard what Shaq had to say. I hear what Coach J.O. saying. Like, I want to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Like, why? It seems like, before you go, it seems like LeBron James he's been on this tour of bad press lately. Like, he's just like, someone needs to tell LeBron, hey, listen, let me help your image. Shut up. Just sit back. Just relax. All right, you're all-time great. You're at the top of the totem pole. You're on the Mount Rushmore. Just sit back, be quiet. No one's telling him that, though. He's on this tour to, like, I don't know, destroy himself. Or are we looking too far into it, Coach Scott?
Well, I want to stick with what Coach J.O. said first about Shaq. Because I think LeBron going on the Pat McAfee show, making the comments he's made, Shaq in his response, I think Shaq makes some very valid points about the generational talent. But I don't think it was, directly geared towards LeBron James. Again, like Coach J.O. said, he had no problem saying that LeBron James is great, Steph Curry is great, the greats of this time. He had no problem saying that. But I think that when an all-time great like Shaq Diesel is kind of put in a position to acquiesce to these high-paid babies, I think that it becomes problematic because Shaq did kind of was fostered and built his legacy in an NBA that was a big man's league at the time, where they played from the 20 feet in. They didn't play from the 3-point line out, right? So in that respect, I totally agree. But from a standpoint of the evolution of the game, I think that what's happening is the greats of this time are wanting to kind of say, hey, look, man, the game has evolved, and this is where we stand, and this is why we stand here, because we can't go back to that time period. A la Deion Sanders and Asante Samuel. Like, the game in its evolution, it just creates a different competitive strategy of how you go about winning. It's not good, not bad. It just really is. But in that respect, I think that, Shaq has his opinion. He and Charles Barkley get into it all the time about the eras that they played specific in. So I think it's one of those things where individuals have to hold the bloodstained banner up for their generation, for their class that, kind of played the game until they tapered off. But as it pertains to, the LeBron and the Shaq kind of banter between each other, I think it's one of those things where it's again, you have to now look at all of the players that came through a specific generation and say either these guys were trash or plumbers, as opposed to saying Hey man, yeah, it was some bums in every league. It's bums in this league right now in 2025. It's bums there. It just is what it is. But when you look at the greatness of anything or the totality of anything, you're always going to have 10-80-10. The 10% of the apex players of the greatest, right? And then you got the ones that are super exceeding in that 10%. You got 80% of the NBA, that's just the players. And then you got 10% that's, you like everybody says they ain't supposed to be there.
Right. And you know what? I think what really is turned, I think the fakeness of this GOAT debate, I'm going to be honest, it's not real. It's fakeness. The fakeness of the GOAT debate has trickled into the fans and now is back and forth with the fans when it should have never been this. I'm one of a firm belief that, first off, LeBron shouldn't be compared to Mike, right? Magic maybe, right? But not Mike. They're two different type of players. We're talking about a shooting guard and a power forward, right? I mean, true positions, right? Shooting guard and a power forward. And then we start doing stuff like, oh, look at LeBron. He had 12 rebounds. Look how much Mike had. He only averaged, he's a shooting guard, right? Oh, LeBron averaged this many assists. Okay, Mike was played in an era where he was told to be a shooting guard. Like, it was his job to shoot the ball. In the time when he did play point guard, we've seen the numbers, like things change. So you're right. It shouldn't be compared. But now we're to the point now, because of that, we want to compare errors. Excuse me. We want to compare errors. And now in comparing errors, LeBron makes the comment about, the Greek freak. He would score this and he would do this. And I like, he comes back, and this is why he's one of my favorite players. And I think the Greek freak is the perfect name for him. He comes back and says, I don't know. After, he jokes about it, but he comes back and says, I don't think so, because if I was in the 70s or 80s, I would be playing the same way they would play. I would practice the same way they would play. And that's facts. So to hear people say, well, if these players were back then these players over here couldn't play here and these players can't play here. The 90s couldn't play in today's game. They're not athletic enough. The best player in the league in Joker is the most unathletic person we've ever seen. Like, let's think about this, right? Just think about this. Is Joker's like a Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan wasn't an athletic athlete. He just wasn't. Let's be honest.
I don't even think he's that athletic.
He might not be that athletic, but he does know how to play basketball. So when you look at somebody like a Larry Bird, you might say, Larry Bird is way more athletic than the Joker is. No, there's no doubt about it. He just is, right? To say Larry Bird couldn't come to today's game and play and dominate is foolishness. But let's get ready to move to the next topic. The reason I'm saying this foolishness is because this is where this phony debate has taken us. This is a crazy debate. It should never have started. But I think the NBA allows it for money. Everything's money. It's about money. Let's just be honest. Last thing. Coming back to you, Coach Scott.
I'm ready for this one. I'm ready for this one.
And again, we are behind the 8 ball because we have been kind of out for a while, and breaking news has been coming out, and we're just not putting our 2 cents on it. So you guys in the comment section be like, hey, this old news. We know, all right? Actually, it's not that old. It's only about a couple days old. But listen, Tracy McGrady, Coach Scott, giving LeBron James his props, right? Saying he's an all-time great, but he says something in there. He kind of did a Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett KG was giving LeBron his props, but then he was like, man, he on that new juice. He on that Balco. He's an all-time great. He's on that Balco. Tracy McGrady, same thing. All-time great. I hope he's doing it the right way, though.
Tracy McGrady, who is the greatest basketball player of all time? LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
I'm tired of this question, man. I hope we just did this question, because what I'm witnessing now, and by any means, this doesn't make him the greatest player to me. But however, what I am witnessing, what my own eyes is watching a 40-year-old man do on the basketball court is the greatest thing I've ever seen in sports.
Yeah.
It is the greatest thing my eyes have seen in sports for a 40-year-old guy to do what he's doing at that level and to do that consistently every single night.
It seems like he can play till he's 45 if we want to, 48 if we want to.
I don't know how he's doing it. I hope it's the right way, because that'd be devastating to our sport in this league, but I don't care about who's the greatest no more. I really don't.
The fact, if it comes out that he's not doing it the right way, Coach Scott, are people really starting to look at this and say, this may be a little bit unnatural. Is it unrealistic to look at a man? We're not saying he's guilty, but is it foolish of a person to say you were investigated by a federal organization for juice, right? Your friend and your wife claimed it was theirs, you know, but you have all the results of what's really coming from the juice. And now these NBA players who are starting to wonder too, is it unrealistic for us to wonder, are we just hating? You know, are we haters? Because you're going to hear that in the comment section. You guys are just haters. But here's Tracy McGrady saying the same thing, Coach Scott. Is he just a hater? You know, I've never heard him hate on LeBron James, but it is a little unnatural. What do you think?
I think every individual has their ability to speak the way they want freely. But I think it was a little bit of slick hate. You know, he played at an apex level early in his career. And we know Tracy McGrady kind of tapered off as he continued to play along in the NBA. But I think it's one of those things where when people can't put their finger or they can't fathom why this guy is still performing at the level he's performing, the only thing that they can say is it's got to be a supplemental something to aid them in their greatness. It's got to be a supplemental this to aid them in their greatness. Well, it was the same thing with Carl Lewis, one of the greatest athletes on the planet, was breaking all the world records at that time. It had to be something, but nothing was ever found. It was the same thing with Florida Griffith Drummer. It had to be something, but nothing was ever found. When someone does something that has never been seen before, when someone pushes the envelope of what we feel greatness should look like or be like at a certain period of time, individuals tend to put their 2 cents in as it's got to be something different than what I was doing because of. I know Coach J.O., he's a hater, period. I'm going to just put that. But I know Coach J.O. can't fathom that a guy that is 6'9", 6'10", 200 plus, 260 pounds, 250 plus pounds, moving like he moves and still playing at a level that he's playing at because Coach J.O. and people like Coach J.O., they can't put their finger on it. The only thing they have next to say is, I hope they're doing it the right way, to actually kind of put that extra little in there.
Wait, so Coach Scott, before I pass it to Coach J.O., all right, I know you mentioned Carl Lewis and other greats, right? I don't think it was the greatness that was being questioned here, all right? Not the greatness. Just how long, it was the longevity that's being put in question. So let me ask you this, because the people, you know, LeBron fans, let's be honest, LeBron fans say this all the time. If this comes up, you're a hater. So like you say, well, Tracy McGrady was slick hating. Well, KG was hating as well. Was the federal organization that investigated him hating as well?
I don't think so, but I definitely feel like to not find his name to be accused, but not to find the facts. Yeah, then it comes back as, yeah, you slick hating, bro. Like if you
organization,
the federal organization has an unlimited resource of funds to be able to get whoever they want to get. Whoever they want to get, they can get them. But they find nothing. That's odd to me. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know if they say, all right, so Coach J, I'm going to pass you the ball because, you know, I heard your thoughts over there. As Coach Scott was talking, I heard your thoughts. So, again, it is incredible. If it comes to the point where nothing's ever found, and this is absolutely incredible that, you know, the longevity. I still don't think longevity makes you the greatest of all time, but just it is something that we've never seen. And then maybe the beginning of something we start to see, you know, based on, you know, how the game has changed and it's not as physical. You can play a little longer, maybe, right? But with that being said, it's not like these guys are just looking at this and I'm just going to hate. It's not like this federal organization just came out and say, hey, we're just going to investigate you for no reason. It's not that this stuff just appeared out of thin air. Why is it that if we talk about this, and you see the comment section, for those who watch the show, the LeBronites, they will be here and they will talk about how big of, you know, we're just haters. And when LeBron James retire, we have nothing to talk about. And it's you'll see it. It'll be there. Right. But why, when we're literally looking at federal organizations investigating someone for this, and this is not the first NBA player to even question this. There's been several and several also raising their eyebrow as well. Coach J, are we just hating, or is it realistic or not far-fetched for us to even think something could be going on?
See, Coach Scott and the rest of the LeBron Knights want us to believe, like when we walk outside and it's raining, they just want us to believe that it's Mountain Dew or something like that. That's what they want us to believe, right? Let me ask you a question, Coach Scott. Right now, your fire alarm go off in your house, smoke everywhere. Is there a possibility that there's a fire being started?
There's an extreme possibility, an extreme chance that fire is there. But if I walk around my house and I don't see a fire there, what do I report to the ambulance? What do I report to the fire department when they come? What do I report?
Okay.
That was a great question.
Okay. So you just said that it is an extreme possibility that there's fire when there's smoke. Okay. But let's talk about this specific smoke. Okay. Because this ain't just any smoke. Literally, a man that works for ESPN, Chill Son, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He works for ESPN. Literally came out and said him and LeBron James has the same PD dealer. He said it. They have the same dealer. And he wasn't saying that. He said it on record. I'm not saying this to bash LeBron in any shape, form, or fashion. I'm just telling the truth and telling you what these things do to the body. Okay? And he's just putting it out there. He's talking about the medicine, how great the medicine is. That was his point. Okay? Now this guy works for ESPN. So you're acting like, Coach Scott, that it's not so much smoke to suggest that there is a fire. Not only that, but look at all of these NBA players, from your KG to your Tracy McGrady. Hey, I hope he's doing it the right way. Like, what would make him say that, though? I hope you're doing it the right way. Or what would make KG say, I know that dad on that balcony. Like, why would they be throwing that out there? Like, literally, your wife and your best friend was found in a PD scandal or that had federal agents investigating them. And you mean to tell me you knew absolutely nothing about this? Now, for the record, is Coach J.O. saying LeBron James is on the juice? No, yes. I'm not saying that. No, yes, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just putting the smoke out there. I'm telling you what the smoke is. That's the smoke. That's all this smoke. And it's heavy. And you want me to act like it's not.
That's bad, bro. That's bad. Bad. It's bad.
Did I make this stuff up?
Does the ESPN guy have more resources than the federal investigation team?
No.
Does he? No. And if this man was not found guilty by the feds, what are we to then say? Because everything else is speculation, it's conjecture, and it's hearsay. That's in the court of law. That's in the court of law, sir. So what do you want? What do you want me to do? You want me to say, yeah, it's smoke. But again, back to my original question. If there's smoke in my house and I call 911, the police comes out, the fire department comes out, and everyone's walking around, they see the smoke, they check with me. But they cannot find a fire. The resources were brought to me and they can't find a fire. What are they supposed to put in the report? That it was a fire, or it was smoke in the house, but we couldn't find a fire? What are they supposed to put in the report?
Listen, where you go, Coach Yo? Me personally, I get it. I think maybe I wasn't there. I wasn't behind the scenes with the investigation and everything, but I gotta say, Coach Scott makes a hell of a point. You know, what else are they supposed to put in the report? I gotta be honest, you know. Do I still have my thoughts? Yeah, because you know, on certain levels, things can happen. But until we actually see the report, we can't really go and say that this is the case. I gotta agree with this. It's a hell of a point that he made.
No, it's not. Because in that particular investigation, that was his wife and his best friend being investigated. Then In the investigation, they found that LeBron James had no ill dealings in that specific investigation. Okay? That doesn't mean anything. Right?
Well, I agree with you. It don't mean, that's why I still have my thoughts, because we don't, but to Coach Scott's point, based on the investigation, we don't have anything to go by. But I would still say
we have our eyes, though. That's the thing. Like, we have our eyes.
I'm with you. My eyes. I'm with you on that one. I'm just talking.
We have common sense. We know when we walk outside and it's raining, it's not Mountain Dew, Coach Scott. It's not Mountain Dew. It's rain.
LeBron fans, not LeBron fans.
Of course, yeah. And these are just real basic, easy questions. And these are the hardest questions when they come out real easy for you. They're real hard for you, but they're very easy questions. Is LeBron James not supposed to be able to still dunk? See, like easy question, can't get an answer. This is what I've been talking about. Is he not supposed to be able to dunk right now?
Well, like tomahawk dunk, between the legs dunk, windmill dunk, or just dunk the ball?
Dunk the ball, like what we're watching right now.
Well, Shaq can still dunk the ball. So yeah, I mean,
okay, cool. It is you self-admitted it. LeBron James is the slowest player in the NBA, like Luka. Like, he's one of the slowest players in the. We can go back. We can get tape after tape after tape. He's one of the slowest players. Is he still supposed to not be one of the? Is he one of the slowest players in the NBA? Yes or no?
Well, based on this particular year, I'm pretty sure those numbers are similar. Like, would he be the slowest player? No. And when I say, for the record, LeBron James, of course, if he did a race, a 40-yard dash, he wouldn't be the slowest. My point in saying that he was the slowest, and those numbers saying that he was the slowest, meaning he doesn't move on the court. That was the point.
Like a man that's been in the league 20 years, yes?
Okay, right. But
that was the point.
He's playing the game. He's a starter. He should move on the court.
You're not realizing I'm beating you up in this corner right now. I'm not going to let you out. Because again, I'm going to ask the easy questions to really decapitate you. Is LeBron James one of the best defenders in the league right now?
No.
Same thing. After 20 years, you're not going to be one of the best defenders in the league right now. So again, is LeBron James one of the most efficient and effective scorers in the league right now?
It depends on what you're measuring that by, but I would say yes.
He is, right? 53%. But where are all his points coming from?
Mostly
coming from two. I tell you, they're coming from two spots on the court.
Well, that's been his whole career. The 3-point line or the paint. That's been his whole career.
Well, that has not been LeBron James' whole career, the 3-point line. He's gotten better as time has aged him. He's gotten better at the 3-point line as time has aged him. That's the fact.
He's never been a mid-range shooter.
And he's still not mid-range.
Right. That's why I said the 3-point line and in the paint. That's where he get his points from.
So my question is, where's all of the smoke? You agree with me with everything I've said. Where is all the smoke? We got a guy that's been in the league 20 years. He's 40 years old. And everything you've said that I said agrees with a 40-year-old man playing.
No. A 40-year-old man head shouldn't be at the top of the backboard. No. That shouldn't happen.
All right, listen. We're about out of time. We got to wrap this up. Listen, it's a question. People are asking, people are wondering, this longevity thing. It has to be due to one of two things. Either the league is just that soft where you could play 20 plus years and still be very productive, as we're seeing, because self-admittedly, LeBron says he has no clue where this rumor of him spending $1 million or $2 million on his body came from. Side note, I need to ask every last one of you LeBron fans who ever said, oh, he spends $2 million a year on his body. When I used to always say, how do you know? Did you see the receipts? Did you see the check stubs? Did you see the bank statements? How do you know? Now the man comes out and say, hey, I don't spend that on my body. Cool. So we know that's a lie. All right. Well, not a lie by him, but a lie by LeBron fans. But I have to admit, Coach Scott made some hell of a point. You kind of agree with him, Coach J.O. Like he kind of agreed with everything he said. But we got to get out of here. There's a lot of players, though, that say, hey, man, something's up. Either the league is that weak that you can do that, or maybe there's some Balco floating around. Who knows? And let's end with this. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you guys follow us on social media, IG, and everywhere else. We are back. We back in the mix, and we appreciate you guys supporting us and reaching out to us with all the messages, hoping and telling us you guys hope we come back soon. But until next time, we'll see you guys then.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Even though I killed the ghost, there's still room to debate. And every sport is on the clock, who being laid with the grade. If you hungry for the smoke, then come and get you a plate. We just evaluate the game and we don't deal with the hate. Come tune into the show, cause we about to get into it.
Every sport has a goal.
But now it's time to prove it. Barbershop vibe saying what other shows couldn't. With a buyer coach Scott, yeah, it's gonna be a good one. This ain't for the faint of heart. Tiger, Jordan, Messi or Babe Ruth, Brady, Serena, and Ali catch phase 2. Get your facts ready and no Wikipedia, cause ain't no off season here on Go Debate Media.